Hey friends, it's Quinn the questioner lifting a lantern of wonder. Long ago, a voice rose in a crowded courtroom and left us with a line carved forever in history: the unexamined life is not worth living. More than 2,000 years later, it still whispers, still challenges, still refuses to fade. But what did it mean then, and what might it mean for us now? Question on. Welcome to Think Again, where we wander through life's mysteries with a warm, open heart. I'm Quinn, your faceless guide, here to spin stories that stir the mind. Today we step into the world of Socrates, as remembered by his student Plato. Socrates wasn't a man of wealth or power, no polished robes, no throne. He was a barefoot wanderer in Athens, striking up conversations with anyone who would listen, from merchants in the marketplace to young students eager to think. And it was through Plato's writings that his voice still lives, etched in memory. But it wasn't just curiosity that brought this line. It came at the cost of Socrates' own life. Let's trace its roots, walk through its fire, and see why this quote will never disappear. Close your eyes and drift back to Athens in 399 BCE, a city alive with debates, plays, poets, and philosophers. The Parthenon gleams, the marketplace hums, and in its streets, one figure stands out: Socrates, a man who wrote nothing down but changed everything through questions. He asked, "What is justice? What is justice? What is courage? What is the good life?" To some he was Athens' gadfly, annoying but necessary, stinging people awake. To others, especially the powerful, he was a threat. They accused him of corrupting the youth and dishonoring the gods. Brought before a jury of 500 citizens, he faced death if found guilty. And in that courtroom, as Plato records in the Apology, Socrates declared, "The unexamined life is not worth living." It was no slogan, it was his last stand. He would not live in silence. Better to die asking questions than live without seeking truth. And so, this line was etched not just in Plato's pages, but into the story of philosophy itself. Why does it linger? In a world where life was measured by duty, farm your land, raise your children, obey tradition, Socrates dared to say meaning is found in reflection, intending the soul. But twirl the lantern with me. Did he mean every single person must probe endlessly? Or was this the creed of a philosopher who chose examination as his calling? His student Aristotle thought balance mattered too, reflection and action hand in hand. The Stoics, like Seneca, sought virtue in calm steadiness. Even then, not all agreed. Let's test it ourselves. If the unexamined life isn't worth living, where does that leave the child lost in joyful play, or the elder resting in quiet routine? Are their lives not worth it? Socrates might argue that awareness lifts us beyond mere existence, that questioning makes us truly human. But logic pushes back. Modern psychology shows that happiness often comes in flow states, moments when we lose ourselves in creation, not reflection. A painter lost in color, a musician lost in sound. There's worth there, even without analysis. And think of overthinking. How many of us have turned a decision into a maze, chasing our tail until joy evaporates? Research suggests too much reflection can fuel anxiety. So maybe the quote bites too hard. Maybe life can be full even without constant examination. And there's another truth. Not every season of life allows for long reflection. A single mother working 2 jobs may live a life of love and duty without time for philosophical pause. In Socrates' Athens, Thousands lived as slaves with no chance at contemplation. Did his verdict include them? Or was his statement less universal decree, more personal vow, a declaration of how he must live? Fast forward to us. In 2025, Socrates' challenge still hums in wellness circles, in mindfulness, in late-night conversations about purpose. Meditation apps boom, books urge us to reflect, but not everyone joins the trend. Many live vibrant lives by creating, by loving, by serving, without much examination. And maybe that's the gift of this line. It is carved forever in history, but it bends when it meets us. For some, it calls us inward. For others, it simply reminds us not to drift too long without asking a question. Perhaps one reflection, even briefly, can color the rest of a life. So is the unexamined life not worth living? Socrates declared it with his last breath, and in doing so, carved it into the stone of human thought. For him, examination gave life its worth. But for us, perhaps the lesson is gentler. Life can bloom in love, joy, and action, even unexamined. And yet, one small light of reflection can deepen it, making the dance richer, the story brighter. That's the magic. This line will never vanish. It's etched into the story of philosophy, forever daring us to pause. So carry the lantern when you can. Reflect if it helps you live more true. And when you think of Socrates, remember, it's not just a quote, it's a vow he died for, a spark still glowing after 2,400 years. That's my story tonight, friends. Share this with someone who loves a deep wonder, and let's keep the lantern glowing. Next time, we'll step into another whisper from the past. Until then, what's one question you'll ask yourself today? Question on.